The final stage is over. We know our 8 teams going to the World Championship in Helsinki. Who are they? Who do they beat? And how will they prepare for the biggest event of the year? Find out on this episode of 3 Stars. Howdy Chiefs, I'm your host Woody, and I'm so pleased today to be joined by a former Worlds contender and my co-caster for the upcoming Worlds, MAXI. He joins us today for the 4th episode. MAXI, welcome back as we both get ready to head to cold and rainy Helsinki. I know we're going to be packing lots of warm clothes. Are you doing that? And how are you doing in general?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Woody. And absolutely, I'm already making big plans what warm clothes I have to dig up from my basement to prepare for Helsinki, while the other teams going to the World Championship are preparing some other things, especially bases and I think some offensive training. But let's get into what we're expecting today. We have 4 teams that have qualified throughout this year and 4 more that just joined 1 week ago in stage 4 of the World's qualification tournament. And Woody, I think we're going to learn about who these teams are, but what else can we expect today?
Well, we're going to recap a bit of stage 4, who's going to World Finals, and we'll break down each team that qualified as well as who they beat in the final stage. We'll also look ahead at the World Championship. We can talk a little bit about the format, the pricing breakdown, and even maybe have a little bit of prediction on who's going to win it all. Lastly, we'll get to know the 4th team to qualify before the stages, STRUT Esports. Who are they, and how did they qualify? And what can we expect from them in the finals? But that's enough for me for now.
Thank you, Woody. So stage 4 is in the books. 4 more teams joined the World Championship, and they had to play it out in a double elimination bracket last weekend. But there was a shift in between the elimination style. We had a Swiss bracket in stage 3 and another double elimination bracket in stage 2. So they are constantly readjusting, which is really complicated. But Woody, now let's get right into it and take a look at who the 4 teams are that qualified.
Gladly, and I am pleased to announce that the reigning monarch from stage 4, the top team to advance, was the Queen Walkers. This is also the top squad based on performance from last year's World Finals, where they got 2nd place. They are going back again with the fire in their belly, trying to secure that championship win that they have so long sought. Because not only did they get 2nd place last year, they also got 2nd place the year before that, and were quarterfinalists in 2019. They have a huge fan base. They were the most expected to get a golden ticket among the casters and maybe even among most of the fans. And they also beat Space Station, a team that was undefeated until stage 4 and had given them quite a bit of trouble in the past. I'm really looking forward to seeing Queen Walkers at the World Finals. But Maxi, what about the next team to qualify?
Yes, the next team is GS, and you can never forget the stars before and after this. So it is some stars, GS stars. That is their name, and they were the stars of last weekend of stage 4 because they qualified with 2 perfect wars. So there was no doubt about them getting their golden ticket, and no team really came close that had to play against them. And GS actually has a long history in the competitive Clash of Clans community. Even like 4 or 5 years ago in the Champions War League, a community league which has like the longest history, they were always in there. They played the Invite League, which was the highest with like 30 and 40 players, and a lot of players that today are in competitive teams played there. For example, Aaron CPB, who was former in Queen Walkers, and also Fluxy from Tribe Gaming. So that is very, very nice to know that they have been there for a long time, but now they actually seem like a dark horse team because it's a 5v5 format now, and we haven't really seen much of them. So this might be a nice surprise element for them going into the World Championship. And I also want to point out their star base builder Toki, who has been doing an incredible job for them. But moving on now, Woody, what is the next team that got the golden ticket?
The next team that got a golden ticket, and it's one that I predicted, was Repotted Gaming. This is a squad that has been competing in the 5v5 format for many months now. In fact, last year, they were in the Last Chance Qualifier, the final opportunity to try to get that golden ticket to go to the 2021 World Championship. They missed out that time, but they would not repeat that this year because they have finally secured it in stage number 4. This is an upstart squad of young bucks, and they are raring to get that championship title. They are a young team, but they're known mostly for their base building, a squad that's really hard to predict how they're going to set up to defend against their opponents, known for some anti-2-star bases and some box bases as well. Repotted gaming is really hard to plan against, and that could make them a wild card in this year's World Championships. In fact, in the last attack of their Stage 4 war, they got 4 triples in a row, enough to guarantee advancement with just a 2-star. That's how they crossed the finish line, strong and proud. I'm really looking forward to see how they do in Helsinki. But Maxi, who is the last team that is going to be going to the World Finals?
Yes, thank you, Woody. The last team, which is for sure very, very happy to have finally made it, is Space Station Gaming. And they are a squad of very experienced players. They have been in the World Championship in 2019 already. For example, Bernal and Marinal, their team captain, under the name INTZ. And they have kept on playing through all of these years, and they were very, very consistent this whole season. They actually got close to getting the golden ticket in the Queso Cup number 2 already, where they were defeated by Tribe Gaming in the finals. And now, when we came to this qualification tournament, in Stage 1, in Stage 2, in Stage 3, they were undefeated, getting consistent 14 and 15 star wars. But in the last stage, last weekend, there was one team that could beat them, and that was, Woody, you said it, the Queen Walkers. But they didn't give up. Space Station fought their way back up after this loss, and they made it. They got the golden ticket, and I think everyone was expecting them to get it. So congratulations, these are our 4 last teams for the World Championship.
Stage 4 was a masterclass in Clash of Clans. We saw Queen Walkers and Space Station take the stage first. Maxi, can you break down one of your favorite attacks from that war so that the viewers can learn a little bit more about the insight in these players' minds?
So here we go. This was actually, as you can see on the right side, the very first attack of this match, and it was from Stars. And you guys know, when you are the first attacker, you have a lot of pressure because you want your team to start well and not to be with your backs against the walls. And you also have the lowest time for preparation. So you can see that Stars took all the 30 seconds he had, but what is that? He missed the first invisibility spell in his skeleton donut, and that is something that can happen to the best, but some people are very consistent in getting those done. But in this moment, Stars made a small mistake that we usually don't see, but you can see him already saving something up, and that is the last invisibility spell, because he realized, I cannot get this clan castle down anymore anyway, so I'll just hold on to it, and it will come into play later on. But let's take a look what he's doing now. He's coming in with a hero dive, a king into the 6 o'clock compartment, a log launcher behind it, and its goal is to take out the multi-inferno behind this 6 o'clock compartment, while the queen is being tanked for by a golem getting into this eagle artillery compartment. And you have to keep that in mind when you plan your own attacks. If there is a lot of damage, like this ground bow, like the archer tower here, or maybe a Tesla farm that you expect, you don't want to send your queen all by herself. So something to tank for her, an ice golem, or in this case a regular golem, is the way to go. Now we see the log has opened, and the last log had just finished the multi-inferno there, and the Yetis finish off this expo. The Royal Champion comes in, the Queen still going strong, and Stars, and there we can see the quality of him attacking, already starting the next part, the Lalo, and there goes the invisibility spell on the Royal Champion, and that made him get the scatter shot, a major defense, especially against big groups of balloons. And now he comes into the Town Hall, the most valuable building of the whole base, and he pops a perfect board ability to protect all of those balloons. But look at that, red mines, Town Hall poison, but also for this, Stars has a plan. He brought the heal spell and placed it perfectly right after the Town Hall poison, so all of those balloons got healed up. And look at that, even though he missed the invisibility spell in the start, didn't get the clan castle, swagged a lot of spell slots, he overkilled this base with a lot of balloons, overpowering this back end scatter shot. And that was just an example of how you can be nervous at the start of the attack, but at some point you have to realize, you have to get into the zone and know this is something I have done over and over again, and just keep on doing it. And I think at some point Stars just stopped thinking about the important situation he's in and just did what he can do best, and that is Lalo. And that was just a beautiful showing of how you can have to keep your calm during an attack if you want to have the most success possible, and a perfect start for Queen Walkers in this war that later got them the golden ticket. So congratulations to them, congratulations to Stars for our best attack of the day.
So let's look ahead at what's to come. Maxi, tell us about the World Finals.
Yes, with pleasure. So the 8 teams that have made it, that have gotten the golden tickets, they will battle it out for a huge prize pool of $1 million, with the world champion taking away the lion's share of that, $300,000. And this is going to happen in just 1 week, from September 23rd to 25th in Helsinki, Finland. But Woody, Clash of Clans is not the only game that's going to be played there. Tell us what's happening there as well.
That's right, the Clash of Clans World Championship is taking place alongside the Clash Royale World Championship in a grand event we're calling Clash Fest, which spans throughout the rest of September. Not only will there be these live events to enjoy the amazing performance from these esports pros, but we've also got lots of events in-game with rewards to claim as well. You can even claim rewards in both games if you play both Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. But if you want to get in on all the action live, you've got to join us at the Helsinki Exhibition and Convention Center. You can get your tickets online now. So we know our first round of matchups. Let's take a look at how they're going to play out. The first one is between Space Station and MS Esports. And despite Space Station's really strong performance through the online events, coming in undefeated up until this last round, I just feel like MS Esports have got that edge in the live environment, have got even more years of experience on their side. So I'll give the tip of my hat to them. What do you think about that match, Maxi?
Okay, I would say the opposite team. I would lean towards Space Station here because they have the momentum right now. They have fought their way through all 4 stages, played so many matches, and MS Esports have qualified a long time ago, so I would just think this momentum will be in favor of Space Station. But then, let's take a look at match number 2, and that's going to be X Team Esports against Tribe Gaming. And this is really the battle of creativity, because these teams tend to create new strategies for a championship. But Tribe Gaming has done it more successfully in the past, and also I used to play in Tribe Gaming, so I cannot bet against them. I would say Tribe Gaming wins this one. What about you?
Well, they did a great job taking down Strut last year to get that World Championship team eliminated. And even this year, I think that their performance in the Snapdragon Pro Series, the world's longest, most intense combat in Clash of Clans up until the World Championship, is speaking volumes for them. So I'm going to agree with you there that Tribe Gaming is the favorite in my mind. The next match is between STRUT Esports and Repotted Gaming, the squad I was just talking about earlier. And I think Repotted Gaming has got a solid shot here, but just how can you compare against former world champions who did really, really well in the Snapdragon Pro Series as well, even defeating Tribe Gaming in the live setting there in Katowice, Poland. I think that STRUT Esports are getting back in the groove, and with their captain Boom at the helm, I've got high hopes for them to get the win in this third round. But what do you think, Maxi?
Yeah, in the end I agree with you. I would give RPG, the Repotted Gaming, that they are a young, hungry, sassy maybe squad, but on the other hand, Strut has not gotten the result they wanted in the last World Championship, so I think they are as hungry, and they will be well prepared, and I think that Strut is actually going to take this home as the favorite. But now let's move on to the last match of the first round, and that's going to be the Queen Walkers facing against GS, and I'll make this brief. I think GS will win that. It's a kind of a surprise, but I think they are hard to prepare against, and they have been so strong in the last stage, so I think that they could be a surprise win over Queen Walkers. What do you think, Woody?
Interesting, but I think I gotta go with the Queen Walkers as my favorite here. They have so much success as 2 times world finalists, and they're also on an upward trajectory, having finally defeated Space Station Gaming in Stage 4. I think the Queen Walkers, with their live experience and their upward attacks, have been doing so well, and I expect that they might get the win after all. But those are the first 4 wars. Why don't we talk about who's going to win the whole thing? I know it's extremely difficult to predict, and I'm even going to hedge my bets on this because I can't name just one team. But I think that the way that the bracket is shaping up is really leaning me to favor Strut, Tribe, and the Queen Walkers. I would take those 3 over the other 5 combined. How about you, Maxi? What do you think is going to happen when it all comes down to the end?
Well, yeah, I feel like those are not too unsafe bets. I mean, you can never go wrong with picking STRUT, for example, who have been world champions before. But I actually, in this one, when I saw the bracket, and when I just said before that GS are going to win over Queen Walkers, I thought, why not win the whole thing? And that's why I will go with GS here in the end, because I think that they are very, very hard to prepare against, because no one has seen a lot from them. So they kind of are a dark horse, and they could be the big surprise, because it's hard to build bases against them. It's hard to scout them because there are not that many wars on YouTube and on Twitch about them. And they have shown that they can perfect even high-level contenders in stage 4 of the qualification tournament. So yeah, I go with the dark horse. I go with GS as World Champions 2022.
So before all of these qualifiers began, there were big community events where teams had the opportunity to earn their golden ticket. The fourth team to do so was STRUT Esports. The STRUT Esports lineup includes Ast, Boom, Tryhard, Yo-Yo23, and Mask. This squad earned their golden ticket at the Snapdragon Pro Series that we were both casting. Maxi, tell us a little bit about their performance at that event.
Yeah, they did great. They're defeating Tribe Gaming, which kind of is one of their biggest rivals, and defeated them last year in the World Championship, as we said. And then in the end, they won against Marcos in the finals, and they were very, very consistent, very, very convincing there. But now let's take a look at all their players and what makes them so strong. So the first one is Boom, their team captain, and he is usually their closing attacker. Same in the Snapdragon Pro Series. He was sometimes able to pull it around in the last attack when his team really needed him to perform well. So he has no nerves, or nerves of steel, you could say. Then we have Yo-Yo23, also known as Lalo23, because he is so good at this attack strategy that the pros love so much. But he is also a very versatile player and can send some ground troops, for example, to the field, and has perfect execution. That's what he's known for. Then we have Ast, and Ast is also a player with a good execution, but even more so, he is able to exploit the meta perfectly. So whenever there's a troop that is a little too strong for the meta, then he is the one who can make perfect use of this and practices a lot with it. Then we have Musk, and Musk is kind of the creative mind and also the queen charge expert, and he likes to do queen charges with some very creative elements. For example, he adds the Electro Dragons, which was a really, really nice attack that we got to see recently. And then the last one, Tryhard, who actually is from a rival, or former rival, from STRUT Esports, from MCES. That's where he played before and got runner-up of the World Championship in 2019. And he is usually especially good at opening attacks or opening wars for STRUT, and takes off a lot of pressure of the others, but is also, of course, a rock solid attacker. But I also want to mention Sir Iron. He is kind of the 6th member, and he is their main base builder, and that's why STRUT's defense is always so strong. So Woody, what do you think are the main strengths of this star squad?
Well, just starting out, to echo what you said about that base building prowess, it is so impressive to see how often they're able to fend off attacks. And then even when they screw up sometimes, because it happens to everyone, we've even seen a few 1-stars from them in wars that they have nevertheless gone on to win with 13 total. So that base building comes in super handy, makes their versatility even easier to leverage. That's the second point that I would note out for them. You can't really build any base that can shut down the sort of attacks that STRUT are willing to throw at them. As we've said before, Yo-Yo, one of the most experienced Lalo players on the team. He was so renowned for that strategy, they started calling him Lalo23. He is an expert aerial attacker that can come in from any sort of different angle and just demolish a base. But the thing that you might not see, if you're only just watching these shows, if you don't get to go backstage like you and I do, you wouldn't know how level-headed the STRUT players are. When they're just hanging out backstage, taking a bite, they look so calm and collected compared to maybe some other players who are furiously scribbling down notes or debating about the best way to attack a base, almost pulling their hair out in confusion and frustration, knowing that they're going up against a world championship squad. The confidence that STRUT Esports brings is something that is very impressive to me. And when I think about the sort of squads that might be able to take them down, another team that I thought might be the world champion this year is the squad that defeated them at the 2021 World Championship. That was your team, Maxi. Tribe Gaming beat them previously and has also taken the better edge of them from the round robin of the Snapdragon Pro Series. Although Strut did come back and get the upper hand on them in the live environment, I think that Tribe Gaming might be one of their toughest rivals in this competition. What do you think about that?
I agree, they are one of their toughest, but I think the toughest opponent for Strut are actually themselves, because we talked about how good each of their players are, how good their base building is. So really, if they don't slip up, they are the team to beat, as they showed in 2020 when they got the World Championship title. So in my opinion, that is really the only thing that can stand in their way. If they don't get any 1-stars in or too many 2-stars, they will get pretty far in this bracket, and it definitely takes a lot to beat them. So that's it for STRUT Esports.
All right, that's it for this show. Thanks very much for tuning in. And Maxi, thank you for joining me. Can you tell the people where they can find us next?
Absolutely, it was a great pleasure, guys. If you want to follow everything related to Clash of Clans esports, make sure to drop a follow to all of our social media platforms to stay up to date.
And drop a stone slam down on that like button if you enjoyed this video. Leave us a comment down below and buy your ticket for Clash Fest. We'll see you all in Helsinki September 23 through 25. Until next time, I'm Woody.
I'm Maxi.
Clash on!